Hi, welcome to the Sales Experts channel. I'm Liz Heiman, your sales startup ops expert. And thank you for joining me for Messaging Matters More Than Ever. My mission is to take the mystery out of sales, to make sales manageable and to make sales predictable. I want you to be successful. And the reason I'm doing Messaging Matters more now than ever is because this is a really difficult time to be selling. And I want to make sure that you're able to succeed despite the surrounding circumstances. Right now, your customers are distracted. Their kids are home from school or work. They may have 2-year-olds running around at their feet. Their employees are distracted or distressed or even sick. Everyone is trying to work from home without the things they need. And they're dependent on video conferencing that, well, sometimes gets bombed. Sales are down or demand is too high to fill, and it's difficult to know what to say. The world has changed overnight, and we simply aren't equipped for today's reality. But here we are. And despite all of that, you still have a job to do. Many salespeople are feeling a little awkward about bothering their clients under the circumstances. I have heard salespeople say, do they even want to talk to me? Well, let's explore that a little bit. The answer is that it truly varies from buyer to buyer and company to company. Sometimes you may hear, not now. Some simply won't have time to talk to you now, or the circumstances have changed so significantly that the need just isn't there at this time. Some will be saying, how fast can we get this done? Because the current situation has created an even more urgent and important need, and they need your help more than ever. So you certainly don't want to miss the opportunity to be there for them when they need you. If you're not there, they'll find someone else who is. Others may say things like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that, or I wasn't even thinking about that. They have urgent priorities that they are focusing on every day, both family issues, health issues, economic, financial issues, and business issues. But they still may have to make this purchase, and they're going to need your help to make sure it gets done on time. So again, you don't want to miss the opportunity to talk to them if they're going to need your help. So your first job is to figure out who is who and act accordingly. And the only way to know is to ask. So let's figure out how to do that. Yes, I want you to put your Superman cape on because your next responsibility is to figure out how to talk to the buyers that need you so that they can hear you. The conversations you were having before may not be the right ones to be having today. And you're going to have to be thoughtful about how you connect and what you say. So let's talk about how are we going to talk to customers. There are 5 things that you need to make sure you're doing when you reach out to buyers today. You need to check in with intention, know the difference between your buyers, remember what matters to them, to listen, and to care. Now, what I will tell you is I would tell you these things were true anytime, but they are particularly true today in the midst of this pandemic and all of the uncertainty that we're feeling. So the first thing is check in with intention. What does that mean to check in with intention? Well, it means that you have a valid business reason for calling. It might sound like, I know the world is a bit crazy and priorities, budgets, and timelines are in flux. I'm checking in to see if your priorities or timelines have changed or if you're still planning to move forward. What you don't want to say is, I'm calling to follow up on our last conversation. It simply won't cut it. In fact, it's a bad habit that you now have the opportunity to break. Chances are they don't remember your last conversation. They may not even remember you. You will need to jog their memory. Say something like, hi, Joe, how are you doing? I'm calling to see if there's anything I can do to help. How's this crazy situation affecting your priorities in general and more specifically around hiring? Now they know that you care and that you have something specific to talk to them about. Be very intentional and make sure they hear your intention when you talk. It's important to understand how buyers across organizations, but also within organizations differ. What is true for one buyer may not be true for another. The way the people who use or manage the product feel may be very differently than the CEO. It's always important to frame the discussion for the person you're talking to and what matters to them. And it's even more important now. C-level buyers are focused on the bigger picture: sales, production, profit, layoffs, loans. HR, for instance, is worried about the staff, staying in compliance, benefits, and this crazy situation. Procurement may be tasked with cutting costs wherever possible, more than usual. Technicians may be even more frustrated with the tools they have than ever. Ask them about what matters to them and understand that the answer to the question about will you be moving forward may differ from buyer to buyer. And so you need to make sure you understand what is the real answer right now. Remember to focus on what matters to your customer. They are not interested in your product or even what you do. They had a problem they were trying to solve. That may or may not be important now, but you need to make sure your communications are about what they were trying to prevent, improve, or fix. What does this sound like? Are you still frustrated by? Have you been able to get John on board? How are you dealing with that under the circumstances? Is there much of a problem with everyone working remotely? This is not a time to talk about bells and whistles or even benefits. Talk to them about them and the problems they're dealing with. It's super important to listen. People need to talk right now, maybe because they're emotional, or maybe because there's so much going on they need to process out loud. Let them talk. Don't interrupt. Be patient. Practice golden silence. That is to listen. Let them finish all the way. Focus on what they're saying until the very end of their sentence. And then, before you speak, count to 5 and give them the opportunity to continue their thought. When they've finished speaking, acknowledge what they've told you. It is a strange time, isn't it? I can only imagine how that feels. I've heard that from other clients as well. I totally get it. Acknowledge them. And then, once you've acknowledged how they feel, they will be able to move on to the next part of the conversation. The final piece of this is to practice compassion. These are scary times for so many reasons. No one knows what to expect. So they're struggling to make good decisions in the unknown. While your quota is important to you, it's more important to partner with the customers to make the right decisions for them in this moment. Relationships are what will carry you through the future. This is a great time to build them. This isn't about what to say. It's about putting the clients ahead of your commission. It's about truly caring. Now, I know that was a rather short presentation, but I was hoping that we would be able to interact and have questions. Since I wasn't able to get you to share your questions with me and to talk about this, I do encourage you to connect with me and to ask me questions, to schedule time to talk to me so that you can get these questions answered and feel comfortable getting on the phone with your clients who need to hear from you. So let me share with you how you can reach me. My LinkedIn is simply Liz Heiman. My Twitter is @Liz Heiman, although I have to be honest, I don't check that as often as I do LinkedIn. You can always email me, liz@aliceheiman.com, or you can try to give me a call. I encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn, but I also ask that if you do that, will you please tell me how you found me so that I will know what you're reaching out to me about, and I'm sure to provide you the information you need. I will make sure that the slides are available to you. And again, I hope that this has helped you and that you feel more comfortable getting on the phone and talking to your clients because they need you now more than ever. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy.